Well, I'm happy to share some information with you. I put this down because then I don't see you. I want to share some information from a European or German point of view. Maybe I should say that IKW is the German Industry Association of Cosmetics. It's the biggest, we are a member of Cosmetics Europe, and Germany is the biggest market in Europe. So I'm pleased to be here. We have about 420 members. And well, yes, we are trying to work a lot on the cosmetics regulation, and I think I can stay here and say proudly that we have been working a lot in the last years, and we have made a lot of efforts, also in cooperation together with our colleagues from the control authorities. But I will come back to that later. Well, you have heard about the scope. I guess I have only 15 minutes as well, so thank you. There is the EU regulation, and one of the major issues of the EU regulation is the safety assessment. You know, we have to have a safety assessment, we have to have a responsible person who is responsible for the safety, and we have the control authorities. So when you have the whole thing, there is the consumer, there is the manufacturer, and there is the authority. And they all play together. You know, this is what I think is a very important message. So there needs to be a product management, which is of course mainly in the hands of the responsible person, and he must ensure that the products are safe. He has to document the safety assessment. He has to have a technical documentation, good manufacturing practice. It has to be labeled appropriately, and it has to be notified. And then, in addition, we have what we call the in-market control. And I was happy that you have explained before, Mr. Beffa, that there is a pre-market control, and I have spoken to one of your colleagues in the coffee break. The difference is clear. I can make a wonderful product, I can submit it to the government, and the government says, great, bring it on the market, but then I do whatever I want. You know, I use bad quality of material, of raw materials. So what is very important is to see what's happening on the market. Are companies really bringing those products on the market, and do they have good quality on the market? So when I speak for Germany, and well, we are one of the countries where I think the in-market control is very high quality, we have in principle 3 sorts of control. First control is GMP. The control of GMP is within the company, so the control authorities come and they check GMP. They check products from the market. This means they go to the shelf, they buy the product, or they don't buy, but they get the product from the shelf and they check it. And they have about, I have just checked it, it's about 1 sample per 2,000 inhabitants. So this means that there is quite a lot of check of products, and of course they check the safety assessment. Okay, we know, or I guess you all know, I've heard that you have been dealing with the European legislation, the product has to be safe, it has been said before. Now what about the safety? There must be safety report, and I know that my colleague will report later on about the safety report, what it is about. So, of course, the safety report belongs to the company. But what you need for this is a safety assessor. Because somebody has to look at all these information, the raw material data, the exposure assessment, the microbiology, the raw materials, the in-market control, which is very important. If you have a product on the market, and let's guess you sell 3 products, and 3 consumers complain that they have lost their hair, you have a problem with your shampoo, maybe. And then you have to have a safety assessor, or if you have 3 complaints from the market, you have to take that into account. So this is a very important. What is also very important, somebody has to follow the literature. What's happening? And you know, there are not many institutions which are looking into the safety of ingredients. I have written, of course, we have in Europe we have the scientific committee, the SCCS. We have CIR in the US. We have in Germany, we are lucky, we have a Cosmetic Commission and the Institute for Risk Assessment. But there are not many agencies. But you have to look at what is happening in the literature. What is, and if you have parabens and breast cancer, there's a publication. What it is about. Is it valuable, or can you forget it? Of course you can forget it, but you have to look at it and see what has been done. So it is very important to see what is happening in the literature. Okay, so now the law says that there has to be a basic qualification for a safety assessor, but we have a long discussion within Germany, and we came to the conclusion that if you're a medical doctor and come from university, or if you're a pharmacist, you cannot do safety assessment. You have to have advanced qualification. You have to need further training. Of course, it is a prerequisite what is written in the law, but you have to know more. We have safety assessors who have not heard, because, for example, if a medical doctor comes from university, he has maybe never heard that there is a cosmetic legislation. So if he does not know that there are ingredients which are banned, how can he make a safety assessment? Not possible. So this is very important. So we think the safety assessor has a big role to play, and of course the management of the company or the responsible person has to make sure that the safety assessor does not fail, because he has to be good equipped. What is also a problem, that the safety assessor has to be involved early, at an early stage in the process. This is very important. And what we have learned in the last years, of course, of the experience we have with the legislation is, in the beginning, especially small companies, they made one safety assessment, they put it in the drawer, and then they went on reformulating the product, and they forgot the safety assessment. This is a no-go. The safety assessment has to be updated with all new information which is coming up. So then we had the experience in Germany. We had the training courses, we had the safety assessors, and I told you that there is the control from the authorities on the safety assessment. And then the authorities came to our companies and said, well, I want to control this product. And then the safety assessor said, I have made a course, I have made a training, and you, as an authority, how can you control me? Where is your knowledge? So we're in a very, very interesting situation, because our control authority made the same courses as the same training. I don't want to go into detail with the courses. We have developed these courses. In principle, it is the system was developed in 1998. It's 7 courses. It's maximum 35 people, and they last for 2 days. And I have written here that in the future, because we have so much interest, especially from countries like ASEAN, South America, that we will offer those also as webinars. But in addition, what is very important is that you also have to have an exchange between safety assessors. You have to, this is experience. What we do, we offer seminars every 2 per year, where we have in the morning presentations, and in the afternoon they have the possibility to exchange. We send them formula with mistakes sometimes, or with questions, and then they discuss it. And then they know each other, and when they have a problem, they can call them. Say, listen, have you ever had a problem with an ingredient X? So it's really, really important what is on and these are the courses, and I don't want to go into detail. You can get a copy of the presentation for those who are interested. These are the courses, and it's very important that it's 2-day basic information. You get 2 days basic on mutagenicity, and when you are there as a safety assessor, and then you have, for example, a positive aims test, you know what to do. The goal of the courses is to deliver the tool for the safety assessor to demonstrate the safety of a cosmetic product and its ingredients based on the relevant toxicological endpoints, including evaluation and interpretation of relevant studies. So we have a site which is safetyassessor.info, which I recommend because we have a lot of literature there. You can read, and also the announcement of the courses are there. These are the certificates which we deliver, and as I have said, in addition we do safety seminars twice per year. For example, we do one in Warsaw, we do one in Istanbul this year, to give a possibility for safety assessors to meet other safety assessors and to talk to each other and to exchange and to have practical experience.
Considering your 20 minutes.
I'm almost finished. I just want to share with you. We were celebrating 20 years of safety assessor courses last week in a scientific symposium, and I wanted to share the film with you, which is only 2 minutes. And there is no tone, but it is. We had a big event in Frankfurt last week in English and in German, and we had about 150 top safety assessors attending, and we had speakers from the government. We had speakers from, this is Bart Helder from CIR, and this is from our control authorities. We do these courses together with the Society of Cosmetic Chemists, and I think it was a big success because after so many years of safety assessors, we were very happy. This is one of, she's doing the dermatology course. This is Vera Rodiers from Brussels. She gave a presentation as well. Professor Motichki, he was one of the persons who started. This is my colleague from Cosmetic Europe. This is Professor Eisenbrand, and you cannot hear what he says, but he said, if safety assessors did not exist today, we should establish them. So, and he thinks that cosmetics have the same level of safety as for food. So we're very proud he's the president of the Cosmetic Commission at the BFR. So I think I wanted to share some of the impressions. It's in German anyway. So I was happy to be here. I'm sorry, 15 minutes is not long, but I'm here around, and if you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me and ask me. Thank you very much.